Look, happy Blackie Friday.
She must have so smile for his nostalgic tale. Never coming near what he wanted to say. Only to realize it never really was. She had nothing in his life. As she rises to her apology, everybody else wants you to know. What you want to
Oh, hey, look. Happy Blackie Friday. Blackie. Happy Blackie Friday. Live from Vienna from the Blackie Fitzpatrick Library Studio, situated here in the 10th district of Vienna, Austria. Go figure. Hey, I'm actually on time today. We're going to do a 1 hour show. I do have a surprise lined up for you at the top of the hour. This is called my startup. This is the part where people say, Blackie, click, cheers from Vienna. I mean, where you're from and all that stuff. I'll tell you, I had a great show yesterday. It was awesome. Thanksgiving. Oh, that was a fun party. And and you guys in the chat, super awesome. I love it. I know half the time I don't understand what you guys are saying, but I did post-produce at least my startup. There was a lot of good jokes in there. This is the part I like the most because I don't read what you guys write right now. I'm looking at a picture of the Doobie Brothers. They are not happy. I hope that you guys are happy, but they are not. But I will read what you write in the chat tomorrow. That's just the way it is. If I don't stay focused, I get derailed. I get distracted. I get befoozed. I get Bette Midler. Look. Look. This is a pretend ear scratch. This is a good one. This is one of my new jokes. My ears are clean. Now, when you watch the Blackie Fitzpatrick show, the expectations are minimal. But I guarantee you that today's show is going to be phenomenal. And there is a 100% guarantee. And if I'm wrong, look, you get 1 Bitcoin. Just give me your credit card number and I'll send it to you. And birth date and social security number and your mother's maiden name. And you get 1 Bitcoin. Look, I'm not a hustler. Buy my book. That's right. I got the different angle here. We're looking at the Blackie Fitzpatrick Garden Studios. The only library right now you can see is in my noodle. Once again, this is my startup. What did I do today? I woke up on the right side of the bed. Well, that depends on which way you're looking, your vantage point. Look, the government knocked on the door. That was fun. Isabel was still in bed, sleeping. And I told her, I said, someone's knocking at your door. And she said, Blackie, Blackie, open it up. And I was like, okay. Billy Block, Billy Bollock's naked. And I just put my head around the door and I said, hello. And she pulled out her badge. I loved the way she did it. She was like, that's what they do at Secret Service. They just pull out the badge. And I was like, oh, I've seen that before. Because one time in the 90s, I saw 4 undercover police officers break down my door when I was living in Fasan, Gaza. Hey, that sounds like Pheasant Road. That's a beautiful name. And I was living at a community flat. That's what they call it in England. And I was living it was kind of not really a dorm because we were next to no school. But I happened to be living with 4 Nigerians. And it looks like, anyway, the cops not only broke down my front door, they really broke it. They didn't even like knock. They just broke it down with one of these hammer things. Came in with guns. That was interesting. And they went through every single dorm room. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bedrooms at this community flat, 1 huge kitchen and 2 toilets, and a communal area in the middle. Rather large place, kind of like 2 apartments with whatever. And I was living there with my first wife, and then they smashed the door open. Actually, I think they just opened it. The guy came in with a gun, and I'm sleeping. They like to do these raids like really early in the morning. That's why Isabel was still in bed when they came in. But this lady didn't have a gun. That was good news. So I kind of wasn't really worried. And she says, "I'm looking for Isabella." And I says, "You mean the walrus?" She didn't have a sense of humor, this lady. Although I heard her laughing with the walrus later. And so I went back and I said, "Okay." And then she said, "Who are you?" And I says, I'm her boyfriend." Luckily, she didn't ask any more questions about me afterwards, did she? I don't know. I don't think she really cared. She was there for some other reason. I don't know. I didn't ask the walrus what it was all about. It looks like it's normal procedure that the government just shows up at your door. Kind of different in America. I don't think I ever had anybody like, I mean, unless like somebody made a report, but this looks like this is something routine. I don't know. Maybe the walrus will tell us later. Yeah. And then she says, "No, I'm not going to tell her." She's next to me. That's why you're looking at a garden studio. And the voice you hear is the walrus. The second voice you hear is the fan. I'm trying to be louder than the fan. Otherwise, the fan takes over. I'm using a condenser mic. So I went into the next room and I says, "Walrus, your government is here for you." And then I went into the other room and rolled a cigarette. And I was like, okay, I'm staying out of this one. And I made sure I had my passport ready. When they show you this badge thing, it's like, it's funny because I always thought like you're supposed to wear a badge on your jacket or something. But the undercover ones, they just pulled out of the thing and she said, "I want Isabella." And she pulled out the thing and I said, "She's asleep." And then she said, "Wake her up." That's when I realized it was something serious. Usually like, okay, we'll come back later. No, it wasn't a salesman. And she showed me the badge, undercover, whatever she is. That was hilarious. So that's how I woke up. And then I tried to go into my 2-hour meditation. I kept on thinking about the lady with the badge. Don't get me wrong, she was kind of nice. Then what did I do? Just tiny things around the house. There's this list. The walrus wrote a list for me. Actually, we wrote it together. Well, she told me what to write down. And it looks like, I wanted to tell a story about yesterday. But yesterday I wasn't really feeling so good. And today when I woke up, I still was kind of like a little bit off. Stomach problems. I don't want to say anything in particular. Don't worry, anybody. River fish. That's my joke, and I'm keeping it. And but I was like, okay, I can do it kind of, well, like emptying the recycling and taking out the trash and just stuff like that. Tiny thing. I didn't really want to work with chemicals because my stomach was kind of iffy, and I really didn't feel that good when I woke up. And then I managed to. The walrus did bring home some turkey. I know I was talking about it in my show yesterday. I was like, I hope the walrus brings home some turkey. And so I got today. I managed. I had a really nice lunch. I don't really do breakfasts. I drink water, a lot of water. Some people say, don't drink too much water, you might drown. And I say, I don't live in a desert. Um, I didn't see a mirage and then went crazy glue. So I had a little bit of turkey, some gravy. It wasn't from the store, but it was from the restaurant. So it didn't really taste like my mother's gravy. Hi, Mom, if you're watching. I know when I was watching you and Veronica uh, having the gravy and turkey and mashed potato and all that stuff, I remember that. The home cooked, you know, stuff with the lumps. Oh, I loved it. I love it with the lumps. This one was smooth. Anybody who ever had their mother or grandmother make American gravy, which is what Thanksgiving is all about, it's supposed to have lumps. That's just the way it is. But this one was smooth. They had some nice carrots. I guess I had some carrots with it. There was no brown sugar or butter. That's okay. These people are from Austria, not from New England. Of course, Thanksgiving is a totally Massachusetts holiday. So I'm not an expert at what Thanksgiving is, but if you're from Massachusetts, okay, I'm an expert. That's the way it is. But it's cute that she came back with some turkey. So I had I had a really good lunch. And what else did I do? Yeah, then after I ate, I did like the laundry. Isabella said, "Hey, Blackie, can you do all my black laundry?" Because she's been working. I've been talking about this on the show. She's been working like crazy, Glow, and when she has like as a caterer, party organizer, whatever. I know I was a waiter. You have to wear these black aprons and all that stuff. She says, Blackie, can you do the blacks? And I was like, that's my first name. So today really was Happy Blackie Friday. So I did the blacks, and I turned on the news. Nothing. Oh, that's not true. I heard a story about London. Ooh, if anybody knows that story, I don't look. My show's not political. Did you hear the story, Wallace? What happened in London today?
Mm-hmm.
You heard it. If Philip told me he heard the story, but he got it wrong. It looks like the propaganda in Austria doesn't tell it the same way that they say it in England.
Somebody issued around at the London Bridge, and
incorrect.
The police
that's the story of Philip.
Out.
No, that's not what happened. Yeah. The propaganda here in Austria is thin, just like that gravy. And then Phil was like, no, that's not what I heard. And I says, well, I'm just telling you, I was watching Sky News, and I saw the police report, and I actually saw everybody had their cell phone, and they were filming it. I could see it with my own eyes, so I know what happened. It's weird how the propaganda is like to turn it around into a different story. And I was watching actually Gramps a little bit earlier today, and that's why I learned about this. And I was like, how come America's not even talking about this? They say it as a headline, and the headline is wrong. And I said, I got to turn on Sky. What's kind of cool on YouTube, you can always go to Sky TV Live or whatever it's called, Sky News Live. And I was like, if it's a London story, I want to get the real reports. I don't really like Sky, I'll be honest with you, but I don't really like BBC or anything. But what I do trust is when they have all these cameras and stuff. And of course, the news can't, they can't resist putting it out. And then the police came out and they were like, please stop putting videos on TV because we have undercover police officers and you are now revealing their identity and we don't want that. So it was actually, you could actually see what really, really happened. And the propaganda in my country and in Austria is not what I saw with my own eyes from England. So I'm not going to tell you the story. If you want to know anything about what happened today, you go to Sky News. Well, they probably already banned it, but when I was watching it live, and then after that, I went to rehearsal with Philip and Anna from Weinhalle. We're still rehearsing the set. We're working on a bunch of new songs, and trying to get used to 2 other new songs. So our set is going to be hopefully turning into like a 1 hour set. So it's a work in progress. We're gearing up. Well, we got a concert just after Christmas. And for anybody that doesn't know Weinhauer, figure out how to spell it and then go to YouTube and you can listen to the stuff and watch me looking silly. And Philip. I don't think Anna's in the video yet, but if you Google it, you'll find pictures of all of us. I had Anna on my show yesterday. She changed her name, so I didn't know it was her. And she was like, Blake, at rehearsal at the end, she was like, Blackie, it was in your chat last night. I was like, you changed your name? She was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So I didn't know it was her. I thought it was somebody else. You know, when you have over 150 Blackie Fitzpatrick fans, it's hard to keep track of everybody. I know your name on it, but you changed the name, so that's why I got confused. And after that, I came back to the 10th district. I tell you, there was a lot of traffic though around Vienna, not just on Anna said she had problems. And I was on the subway, where they call it the U-Bahn here, and I also had problems getting around town. Looks like there was some protest marches and stuff, so a lot of things got closed off.
Climates.
I don't want to be political, but Isabella just said it, so if you could hear what she mumbled, then you know what it's about. But there was protests in Vienna today, so everything was kind of a little bit screwy, and the subway wasn't really going on time. Every subway car was packed, and the highway coming into Vienna and going out to Vienna was like mega traffic jam stuff everywhere. So that was interesting. Then I made it back. Looks like the protest was over. And then that's the other news I heard about. I'm not going to get political. The show's look. I don't even vote. I find it interesting, like Frank Zappa did. I don't know. Did Frank Zappa vote? Probably not. I'll be honest with you. But it's fun to watch politics. It's really, really. I think it's interesting because there's so many songs I can write about it. Plus, I like listening to lawyers talk. They have a funny way about talking. They're really good at making arguments. Even if they're wrong, sometimes they can win. See, that's thinking. The show is not religious. I'm a Christian. Once again, happy Blackie Friday. Okay, now's the time for me to turn the chat on. I pick a song. And I was thinking about this. And I already know what I'm going to play. Look. Now that was kind of it. I have to cheat. Thank you, YouTube. I actually didn't have to cheat at all. Sometimes I'm clever, sometimes not. It is now 0048. You're watching the King of Lo-Fi. I hope it sounds great on your end. Oh, but first,
9,90 €. Jetzt bei C&A.
buy shirts. Oh, that's right.
She says great and Wednesday too. Thursday, I don't care about you. It's Friday, I'm in love. Monday, you can fall apart. Tuesday, Wednesday, break my heart. On Thursday, doesn't even start. It's Friday, I'm in love. Saturday, Sunday always comes to an end. Friday never ends at all. I don't care if Monday's Friday. Tuesday, Wednesday, hard to tell. Thursday, never looking back. It's Friday, I'm in love. Tuesday, Wednesday, stay in bed on Thursday. Watch the walls instead. It's Friday. Sunday always comes in May. Friday just after the eyes, it's a wonderful light. See your shoes and your spirituals. Just like the sound. See as she's spinning round and round. Always taking my mind to such a gorgeous song. See you being never another life. This love is running Tuesday's prayer, Wednesday too. Thursday, I don't care about you. Friday, I'm in love. Tuesday, Wednesday, break my heart. Thursday doesn't even start. It's Friday, I'm in love.
The Cure with Friday, I'm in Love. Hey, happy Blackie Friday. Who do we got here? We got Meredith, we got Elaine, and we got Starscream. Hey, Greenie. If I say your name twice or if I miss it, it doesn't really matter. We got Zoom Zoom in the house. We got James Robert. And hello to all my lurkers. You guys are super, super, mega, mega awesome. I like it when I turn on the chat and it says 8 people watching. And you guys have been actually rather solid for me and respect. Today's show is, it looks like my mother's talking about there's something also that happened in the Netherlands today. Oh, no, all these copycat things. I don't know what's going on, but what do they say? Keep your ears and eyes and whatever wide open. James comes in, I hate Friday traffic. I believe you. Look, I was in the subway and I had traffic. So it was busy, it was packed. Look. Elena says, once upon a time, there was a country called Netherlands. I believe you. Look. Some people call it Holland. I just call it Amsterdam. Click. Cheers from Vienna.
Amsterdam. Sunday City.
The Wallace didn't get that joke. That's okay. Sometimes some of my jokes don't really work in every single country. And that's okay. I'm a masshole. Sometimes my jokes don't even work in Massachusetts. That's acceptance. The Blackie Fitzpatrick show is always about acceptance. I'm not here to actually do anything. Well, hold on a second. Some people would say I'm doing this for my ego. Hold on a second. If that means I have a guest on my show, is the guest on my show for their ego? Is everybody in their chat room talking for their ego? James says Amsterdam. And James says, hi, Isabel. Click. See, that's the joke. She still doesn't get it, but that's okay. Look, the only way is up, baby. Look. I'm not here to sing for you. I haven't hit 10 yet. Plus, I don't think I'm allowed to sing tonight. Today is supposed to be a quiet show. But once again, I do have a surprise guest. I'm playing music super, super quiet. So all you need to do is turn it up and see if it works. If it's a song you like. If not, just read the chat. A lot of people don't even actually listen to me talk, and that's probably recommended. Some people find solstice. Some people get frustrated. Some people go, huh? And that's always interesting. I like those ones. Huh? At least you tell me there's a chance. The fun thing about doing the Blackie Fitzpatrick show, and I hope it's the same thing on your end. I was talking about this on yesterday's show, yin yang. So look, if I'm here, that means you're there, and she's over there, and I'm saying, "Clink, cheers from Vienna, happy Blackie Friday," and I'm in love. No, the fun part is I'm actually writing a book in my head, and you guys are all going to be part of it. That includes the walrus. She's like, oh, no, I'm going to go into a Blackie Fitzpatrick book. Oh, yeah, buy my book. Oh, you can't see it. It's over there. If you hate Amazon, speaking of protests, looks like there was this big protest in France today, and some people don't like Amazon. It doesn't even matter if you're left wing or right wing. Looks like a lot of people just don't like it, but we go there. So my book is like, you can buy my book on a lot of different places. So this sounds copacetic. If you want to buy my book, look, if you like my show, you'll love my book. Go to barnesandnoble.com. Look, it's Blackie Friday, so I think it's on sale. I actually know it's on sale. So today is the day to buy my book. Look, anything could happen. This is a pretend scratch. Okay, I'm going to play one more song, and then I'm going to put on the surprise guest. Elena says, yeah, she knows about what happened. Yeah. That was kind of what happened today in London, London Bridge. If anybody knows England in particular, it was actually, most of it happened in Borough, which is one of the districts there, which I lived in, which is kind of weird. You could see in the place where I lived. But I lived in the Elephant and Castle, which is in the borough. It was London Bridge is where the guy got. I don't know where it started. This is the part that's question mark, but it started, I think, in some cafe or something, and then the guy ended up making it to the bridge, and then the police took him out. He had a bomb strapped to his stomach, and he had a knife the size of two of my heads, and he stabbed a bunch of people. And when the cops finally got to him, he said he was going to blow everybody up. And so the cops gave him 2 shots to the head. No more paperwork on that one. That's going to be an easy. That was game over. He said the magic words, "I have a bomb strapped to my chest," and he showed him. I mean, look, that guy was like, talking about death wish. Chuck Norris. I mean, I don't know. Mental. But they had to evacuate. I can't remember what the exact number was, but it was something like 100,000 people they had to get out of that area. and I was watching it on live TV and doing the laundry and the dishes. But I brought the phone with me, so I was watching this stuff and I was going, whoa. I was like, this is crazy. And in the beginning, everything was kind of sketchy. Nobody kind of knew what was really, really going on. And as Isabella heard and Philip, they got the wrong information. America got the wrong information. But I was watching it live, and I was going, oh, okay. If you say the magic words, and it's not like all these, I said it earlier, but all these videotapes came out. Everybody had their phone, and they put it onto their Facebook accounts. And then anybody who's a smart hacker can find all this stuff because you type in whatever, so it's not that hard to find. Hashtag London Bridge stabber, and all this stuff showed up. And that guy's bye-bye. I don't know the result of. I haven't been watching the news for hours, but because I just got home. But I saw the whole thing unfold live in front of my eyes, and that was like really after the fact. But when they were getting the videotape stuff feed Oh, we're like going, oh, okay. And you can see the guy and see the cop. They didn't like that part. Okay, it's now 1:00. Walrus, you have the floor. She's not looking at the clock. She's not prepared for this. I told her I was going to give her the floor at the top of the hour. Walrus has a show set up for you guys. So this is Happy Blackie Friday. Surprise, surprise, surprise. The Walrus wants to come on live.
Yeah, I told you should tell me what I should talk about.
Well, what I found fascinating, the first one story that really caught my eye that I thought people on my show would like was the story about Vienna and lager.
In a small town next to Vienna, it's called Schwechat.
Schwechat is where they have the international airport.
Yeah, and there's also a big brewery. It's now called Schwechater Brauerei. It's a Viennese beer. It's actually always called the workers' beer, the beer of for the small people, for the working class. But it was founded from a guy called Dreher, and I think it was his grandson. He found out how to make lager beer.
And the word lager means, because it's a German name, lager, I know because I did Lagerarbeit. Lager means factory, but it also means storage. Correct?
Yeah.
So lager, it means factory and also means storage, but it's kind of the same word. So the first place, and this is what I didn't know, is that in the old days, you had to have beer like super fresh, otherwise it would go off. And in Austria, in what did you say, the 1800s? They
Lager
figured
is
it
a
out.
type of beer conditioned at low temperatures. Lagers can be yellow, blah, 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 blah. So this is not so English history. While cold storage of beer lagering in caves, for example, was a common practice throughout the medieval period, bottom fermenting yeast seems to have emerged as a hybridization in the early 15th century. In 2011, a team of researchers claimed to have discovered whatever. This is not the thing we wanted to read of. Based on the numbers of breweries, lager brewing became the main form of brewing in the Kingdom of Bohemia between 1860 and 1870.
Is your voice louder than the fan?
I have no clue.
Oh, okay. I believe you.
But this guy Dreher was the one who found out how to do that. He was the first one, and so he was the owner of the biggest brewery in Europe, even bigger as Guinness. So Guinness was the biggest till then. So it was 1860 something.
South of Vienna had the biggest brewery in Europe, and probably in the world. I'm going to take an educated guess.
I don't know.
I'm going to
The
take an
interesting
educated
thing is
guess
that
and
the
say yes.
family died out, and so the name vanished actually as Dreher beer in Schwechat or in Vienna, no, in Schwechater Brauerei, but they also bought a brewery in Budapest and a brewery in Italy, and they still produce Dreher beer. So you can buy a Dreher beer in Budapest and a Dreher beer in Italy, but not in Austria because it's not produced here, because the name changed to Schwechater Brauerei.
I don't think anybody that I know in my chat has ever heard of Dreher beer. What does Dreher mean?
It's the name of the guy who...
This guy's last name. Okay, it's the last name.
I said this at the beginning.
Yeah, look, I'm reading the chat here, so you're in charge. If I get confused, I'm asking you because everybody else is reading the chat too. Hi, Mike. Keep going. You're like a song for me.
What? I like a song for you.
You are like when I play music and stuff, that's when I can focus on the chat and stuff. So you have the floor. You also said you wanted to play some cool music.
Yeah, and then we
I thought you had it all set up.
And then we talked about the tea. He was also a great so-called Mäzen Distiller guy. Not only he found out how to make lager beer, he also was a great Mäzen. So
What does Mäzen mean?
he supported a lot of different things, arts, for example, and music.
What does Mäzen mean?
You're a supporter of art. I said it already.
A supporter of art is a Mäzen.
Or support of artists and arts. To give money to poor artists that they can do art.
There's another word. What do they call it? It's not entrepreneur. It's what's that fancy word? Something Latin. Anyway, yeah, it means you give money to poor artists so they can have enough food to eat and a warm place to sleep and keep on creating art.
And there is
I think Hillary Clinton is one of those.
And there's a guy called Karl Michael Zierer. And I found something about him in the context of this Dreher guy, because he was then playing in one of his etablissements, as the name was at this time, where the people came to drink, to eat, but also to listen to music and to dance. The ballrooms, as they were called at this time. And then, especially in Vienna, at the end of the 19th, from the mid of the 19th to the end of the 19th century, it was waltz, was the most popular dance, but also polkas and mazurkas.
And marching music.
So, and this Karl Michael Zierer was a composer and also a band leader there. But he was also, Karl Michael Zierer is also famous for marching music, because
that's what I was mentioning, yeah.
He wrote music for the österreichischen Hoch- und Deutschmeister.
No, we did a little bit of research before the show. Isabel was talking to me for about 45 minutes, and I said, girlfriend, I said, this is stuff that's like crazy glue. Huh? Oh, she said she wants to play music and not turn my show off. Good, you got the floor. James, come in while you're figuring out the plug. You're watching the King of Lo-Fi. Does Vienna have turtle tunnels?
What a turtle tunnel.
I think James is talking about the movie The Third Man.
Yes, we still have it, and you can even do a Third Man tour in Vienna.
You can do a tour.
And
it's first world clean.
Yes.
Do be clean.
And you hear something how all this stuff works, where the water comes from and where it goes. But you go also you really see where this.
What's that guy's name? Who made the movie? He's an American guy. What was his name? Orson Welles. Yeah, that's it. The Third Man. In German, they call it Der dritte Mann. And it's filmed in post-World War II Vienna. And it's a great movie. No, I've seen it many times. Black and white movie. Great movie. It's half German, too, so I love it.
The music is famous, and it's played from an Austrian guy on...
Yeah, I know. I used to perform. I used to perform that song. I used to perform that song live in Vienna, which I thought was really cool with a musician who I know you know, Ernst Molden. A lot of people here don't know the name Ernst Molden, and if anybody who's a real music geek, I worked with him for 2 years, and we used to perform the Third Man song, which is obviously from the Orson Welles movie. Lars, you have the floor.
No, I have to search for the
go to
music.
YouTube.
Anton, and the guy who played the zither is Anton Karas. I remember that was
correct.
Famous with that.
Correct. I know I performed that song for 2 years, professionally and on television. Turn off your mute.
No, I'm not mute anymore.
Oh, okay. You're watching the King of Lo-Fi. I play bass. Not bad, huh? You're watching the Blackie Potential, the King of Lo-Fi. Music and narrative is being provided by the Walrus. Is now 0113. This show is going to be strict. It's going to be dead in about 16 minutes. But the Walrus, you have the floor.
We talked about theater, and that he was famous for writing marches. For example, that one.
Wir wollen mehr als nur Fernsehen, weil uns dunkle Mächte genauso magisch anziehen wie uns Regenbogenton.
That says buy food.
Oh, it's not the march, it's the waltz. Sorry.
That was a hard break. A Walrus. Hey, Joan.
I made it slow. This is the march.
You're watching the King of Lo-Fi. That was a request by the Walrus, who told me an hour and a half ago.
Sorry.
Who told me an hour and a half ago? I know I'm supposed to talk a little bit. And say hi to people. Who told me an hour and a half ago she doesn't want to hear anything loud. But that was a great marching music stuff. And Elena, I think that's a song for you, marching to bed, because in Moscow it's 3:17 out in Vienna. It's now 0117. The show is going to go on for 12 more minutes. Walrus, you have the floor. Here's the next marching song.
Yeah.
This is for Elena. March to bed.
No, yeah, this is especially for our friends in America. It's a so-called Columbus March.
Columbus. Oh, hold on. That's also for our friends from Portugal and Spain, because Spain bought the boat. You're watching the King of Lo-Fi. That's what you said.
What's right?
Yes. Yeah, Mark. Head bobbing. Oh, you're watching the King of Lo-Fi. Walrus, you have the floor. Let me know if you're going to go one song to the next song.
Yeah,
Then I
actually,
won't try to
like,
talk.
yeah, I would like to
I only have
the next one to show the most famous waltz of him.
Okay.
It's called Wiener Bürger.
What does burger mean? Like hamburger?
People from
Translate.
Vienna.
Burger means people. So this song is called The Viennese People.
But it's not a song; it's a waltz, and it was really composed for dancing. People danced to that. It was really a dancing.
Tell us the name of this, because Joan just joined us. I see Meredith is coming back in the chat. Meredith says she wants to like watch the Nutcracker right now. It's making her think of well, the King and I. But what's the name of the composer?
Karl Michael Zierer, and he was a rival of Johann Strauss.
Turn off mute.
It was, yeah, but first I have to do that. It was a rival of Johann Strauss. And Johann Strauss got more famous with his An der schönen blauen Donau, the Donauwalzer.
Well, Strauss.
Everybody knows him, but they were at the same time.
That's from the movie 2001, An Odyssey. That's the soundtrack music for that. We're playing like the third band soundtrack music, and now we're going to play the competition. This guy could not get the gig. You have to turn off the mute. Here we go. I know it starts.
I want to play the whole one because it's 7 minutes long.
Slow pace. Slow pace, okay. I would like to play 3 or 4 more. Yeah, whatever. But I would like to finalize. You have one. No request. Take it. Mike wanted to hear John Phillips. Mike
know this is the things I
You were talking about.
would like to finalize my story.
You go one time. So do it there.
So, but they also they did not only dance to waltz, they also liked to dance to polkas, like that one. Think about it. Dance
You're watching the King of Lo-Fi. Sorry, Mike, no requests right now. The Walrus is in charge, and we're running overtime. First, it was supposed to be a 1 hour show, but it looks like she's having fun playing music. So we're gonna, and you guys are having fun too here. Press thumbs up before you leave. Here's the next song by request. Hey, Walrus, what's the name of this track?
The next song is still a dance. It's a gallop, and it's called Alarmsignal.
A gallop?
A gallop, yeah. And it's called Alarmsignal.
She likes the punk rock stuff from the old days. You're watching the King of Lo-Fi.
Hold on.
The walrus is awake. She's galloping.
Okay, for 3 minutes. Instead of chopping, people went dancing.
Ah, you're watching King of Lo-Fi. Sorry, Mike. The walrus has the floor right now. No requests tonight. The walrus is galloping across the floor. I hope you can hear us.
So, and I think this is one of his last things he wrote. Die schönsten Mädel leben in Wien. Most beautiful girls are living in Vienna.
Wie gewinnt man als Coach, Trainer, Berater, Experte oder Dienstleister?
Not that one. I get the wrong one. Sorry, it was again the wrong one.
You're watching the King of Lo-Fi. I hope it sounds great in your end. Oh, Taki. I'll run again, sing any style. Press thumbs up before you leave. Show some common decency.
The last one.
It is now we're one more song, and then we're going to do Doobie Brothers and say bye-bye. So we're slowly winding down. It's now 0141. You're watching the King of Lo-Fi. The Walrus is Look, you've been playing music for over 40 minutes.
It's a recording from
Don't tell me, tell everybody.
It's a recording from 1899 from the original Ziererkapelle, and they play the Wiener Bürgerwalzer.
You've been watching the King of Lo-Fi. Wars, thank you so much for all those beautiful waltzes and marches. Old school stuff from the Austrian Empire and back in the day. And this is music from pre-World War One.
Actually, I would also like to ask if somebody knows the flower or the plant camellia.
That means we have to keep the show on. I thought you said we're going to kill it now.
I only wanted to tell us the short story about the camellia.
Okay, we're staying live. Sorry, I told everybody to say bye-bye. The walrus changed their mind. I can get another beer. We can stay on all night. I don't care. What time do you have to work tomorrow? Oh, you have to leave the house at 4:30 in the afternoon.
I will probably leave it earlier because
you have nothing in the book.
Work. Yeah, but we know that. So the camellia, I think
You have the
a
floor.
lot of people, maybe some people know this plant. Maybe
Don't talk to me. Talk to the microphone. It's there.
Maybe Joan knows it.
Say it again.
And camellia.
Don't talk to me. Talk to the microphone.
Yeah, I'm talking to the microphone. You're boring. And it's named after a botanist called Camel, with like the camel. Actually, its name is Camel, like camel with two E's. It was a botanist from Austria. And a cousin of him had a spice shop in Vienna, and this shop is still here. In the meanwhile, it's called Fankos Deli, a deli. No, they have really high-class food, a restaurant, a wine bar, and it's still here. It's called Zum Schwarzen Kamel, but still written with two E's, the camel, and it's still here, and we like to go there. So that was it. Now I'm done.
You guys have been watching the King of Lo-Fi. Happy Blackie Friday. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night. You watching the King of Lo-Fi live from Vienna, and my co-star, the Walrus. Awesome job, girlfriend. It's now 0145. Time to say bye-bye. Hopefully JB will come on, or we'll find somebody else in some other chat. Happy Friday night to everybody, and peace. Oh, that's right. I need to think back. I knew I wanted to say something, but like. When you watch the King of Lo-Fi, I think expectations are, well, look, I call myself low. Take two. You're watching the King of Lo-Fi. Thanks again, guys. I love all of you guys, and peace and love from Vienna, Austria. asked my cat a question. Forgot to look for the answer.
She must have so smile for his nostalgic tone. Never come and be what you wanted to say, only to realize we never really was. She was and she rises to her apology. Everybody else wants you to know what you love keep shining in somewhere back in the long ago. But you can still believe there's a place in our life. Someday, she will return. She will everybody else wants you to know.